Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. Come on in and settle in. Let me know that you can hear me. And while you're settling in, I will introduce myself. How are you? How are you? How are you? I'm Kathy Terrell. I've been selling on eBay for well over 15 years. I started very small, like a lot of sellers, just selling odds and ends from around my home. I needed to be home to take care of my mom. And what I found was in doing that was that eBay gave me the flexibility that I needed for my life at that time. My focus was on taking care of my mom. And by selling the odds and ends from around my home, what I found was I loved eBay selling. So when my mom passed, what I did was I scaled my business and I grew it. So I'm a full-time seller. I am trained as an eBay education specialist. If you don't know, I was on QVC for over 6 years, went through really extensive training for that. So I have a lot of online selling experience with them. And I do have over 25 years of brick and mortar experience here in New York City, which is where I am. Um, so what I do is I take all that brick and mortar experience, I take my QVC experience, and I blend it all in with what I know about eBay, and I help you. And what my specialty is with eBay sellers is to help your items to get found by search. There's a lot of great sellers that'll give you tips on things to source and things to buy. What I do is it's great to have great inventory, but you want to list your inventory in a way that it gets found by shoppers and bought, right? So come on in, we're going to talk. What I'm going to talk about today, this is a big mistake that newer sellers can make, but certainly more experienced sellers can make this too. And that's why I'm going to talk about it. And it's something that people often overlook. Again, we're so intent. Hey, Thomas, how are you? We're so intent on sourcing inventory, which is important. You know, you got to have wonderful, wonderful items. And I've got a tip for you on that. So hang tight on that. But a huge part of eBay selling, and I'll run into this when I'm talking with clients. Hey, Ladoris, how are you? And also in the Facebook group that I run for newer sellers, eBay Selling Basics, is shipping. Shipping is the number one like roadblock for a lot of newer sellers, particularly when you're coming in from other sites. But even coming in from other sites, a lot of times people make errors with this, which is why I'm bringing it up. So there's a lot to shipping. Hey, Thomas, you're just signing up for the winter sourcing. Oh, thanks. Great. Is when you're selling on eBay. So yes, so we think about the inventory that we're sourcing. Absolutely, you think about your listing. And if you want listing tips, go onto my YouTube channel and just Google Kathy Terrell YouTubes. You'll find it. I have a lot of tips there to help you with listing. But what a lot of people forget, I actually ran into this recently with something that I purchased on eBay. And I've also got a story for you because I'm out and about, even with everything going on. And I watch the UPS delivery people, and I watch the FedEx delivery people, and I watch the USPS delivery people, and I notice some things. So, you know, you're sourcing great inventory, you're creating great listings, and you get a sale. It's like, yay, right? And then you pack the item up. You pack, thinking vitamins, I guess. You pack the item up, you take it to the post office, or you have them pick up from you. You ship it off, and then you wait, right? It's like, yay, my item is on my way to my customer. And 9 times out of 10, everything goes fine. But sometimes things happen. And that's what I want to talk about, because there's ways to minimize things happening. Okay. And the first thing I want to point out, and this is actually like a box that showed up at my house with an item that I bought on eBay. And I want to show this to you. So this is a medium flat rate box. Whoops, got to show that. A medium flat rate box. Do I have this? I'm sure I blacked everything out. So medium flat rate box, okay, that showed up with, that I bought something. And this is what happens. This is what I want to show you. Okay. Now, What was in this box was a lace dress that I had purchased. And this is what happened. Now, the seller had not wrapped the dress in anything. Again, this is a medium flat rate box. You've also got regional A boxes, regional B. There's a lot of different flat rate boxes. And this is a priority mail box. And if you are unfamiliar with priority mail boxes, they're pretty sturdy. This is not a flimsy box. This is not a thin box. So the seller didn't make an error by putting something into a very thin box, which I do want to caution you on, because sometimes we're looking to save, that ounce or two or whatever. And so we'll sort through our boxes and perhaps pick the thinnest box. And that's not always the smartest thing to do, because you do have to think about the fact of the distance that the item is traveling. And sometimes it's not just the distance. I'm in New York. When I'm shipping to New Jersey, things can get damaged from New York to New Jersey. But certainly really consider when you're shipping distance and when you're shipping overseas. This was how it arrived. Now, the good news is the dress was okay. But I'm telling you, I was holding my breath. I was like, I got it. I saw that hole. And again, how did the hole get? Who knows? It got damaged on the belt. Somebody stuck, who knows? Okay. But it happened. The hole got punched in the box. If you shop online, you will know what I'm talking about. And this is my story, because I see the delivery people all the time. And they're pulling things off of the truck and it falls to the ground. Now, if it's a sunny day, but what happens when it's raining? And what happens when it's snowing? Yes, I'm not responsible for the USPS, but I want my item to arrive to my customer in good shape. And if it arrives damaged, guess who's liable? The seller. That's why I'm telling you this, okay? So that's why. Now, this seller did not make a mistake of using a thin box. They used a gray box. The problem was the item should have been sealed inside. So particularly on clothing items, and you would think with a box, it's like, this is so sturdy. I just, throw the item in the box, right? No. So I use these. I got these on eBay. They come in all different sizes. It's plastic. You can certainly use Ziplocs. I've seen people use lots of things, but I seal in plastic. If you're anti-plastic, I get it. Put it in something, and you want something that is going to give it some waterproof. So whatever you think. And for me, a piece of paper just isn't going to do that. Okay. So what I'm concerned about is that my item is arriving for my customer. So I will seal it in this. I've seen people use the bag sealers, where you seal the food sealer. I've seen people seal with that, but really consider your item is traveling from point A to point B. And even in a box, about cushioning, sealing the item inside the box. I talked to lots of friends that ship lots of different things. Cushioning, crumpling up newspaper or brown paper around it. Yes, it fits in the box. Yes, in all likelihood, this item will not break going from point A to point B. But do you want to risk it? It's not that, especially with a flat rate box. I'm paying the same price. It doesn't matter how much is in the box. So crumple up, keep the brown paper. When I have things shipped to me, I keep just about everything. I have behind the screen, I have air bubbles. I've got bubble wrap. I've got brown paper that things come in, and I crunch it up and I push it in so it cushions it. And I'm not even going to talk about fragile things, because that's a whole nother video, which I will do with you sometimes. I am talking shipping coats. I'm talking shipping clothing. Now, clothing, obviously, it's fine if it wiggles around in the box, but the clothing can get damaged if a hole gets punched in the box. The one thing I do find, where are they? Hang on a second. The padded flat rate envelopes, these are like my absolute favorite. I love these padded flat rate envelopes. Again, for my newer sellers, you're not going to find these in the post office for the most part. Some people have reported to me that in smaller post offices, their post office stocks these. Mine doesn't. They only stock the big, medium flat rate. They stock the small flat rate box, the one that fits like a video. And I think that's about it. They don't carry regional. They don't carry padded mailers. So order these, and I will tell you why, because you cannot believe what you can fit into a padded flat rate envelope. You can fit shoes in here. You can fit blue jeans in here. You can fit jackets in here. I have put dresses in here. Now, for me, I do roll, especially if it's a nice dress. I do roll and I put like nice tissue paper around it with a little thank you sticker. You do want to think about presentation, even on lesser priced items. Obviously, I want to take a look at my margin. Your margin is how much money you're making. You know, you don't want to be spending so much money on tissue and stickers and ribbon that you're killing your margins, okay? But on a more expensive item, you know, the tissue papers may be costing me a penny or more if I'm getting it at something like a dollar store. You're okay. Now, speaking of which, so on a higher ticket item, so let's say I have a really gorgeous hoodie and I sold it for, let's say it's $100. It was a high-end hoodie with embroidery. I might not roll it and stuff it into a padded envelope that I might do with a lesser price hoodie, okay? That I might put into a nice box, okay? Sealed in the plastic with some nice stickers. Why? Because of presentation. If you know, I'm sure you're aware of this, it depends on where you're shopping, but when you go into high-end stores, because I'll see them here in New York, even with everything that people are dealing with, is there's a doorman. And when you enter, oftentimes, not nor now, excuse me, because of the restrictions, but it used to be you would enter these high-end stores for shopping and you're being offered espresso or tea or water or a cookie while you're shopping. You're given a personal shopper to go around the store with you and help you select the purse, the wallet, whatever it is that you want. Well, think of yourself as that with your shopper on eBay. You're their personal shopper. They've bought that $100 hoodie with you, or that $80 handbag, or that really pretty bracelet, is to make it so that it's pretty. So when they unwrap it, even if it's a gift for themselves, that they have a wonderful experience. Obviously, this is going to vary on what you're selling, right? For auto parts, I don't think people expect pretty tissue paper around their auto parts. But, you know, even something like a used t-shirt, right, that I'm selling, you know, is that I fold it nicely. I might put it into some kind of inner sealing bag if it's going into a box. Let's say they bought a dozen shirts from me or 5 or 6 dresses, so I'm putting into a flat rate box. You know, that I seal each one in a bag or put 2 or 3 in a bag so it looks pretty. I don't just roll the dresses up and throw them into the box. But I really wanted to speak to, because thankfully the dress was fine. But if it hadn't been fine, the seller would have been opening up an insurance case, which, by the way, with priority mail, you do have insurance because of the hole in the box. And poly mailers do rip. It happens. You know, I mean, even, and that's the other thing when you're buying poly mailers, by the way, this is an eBay poly mailer and they're pretty good, is, you know, tug on it. See what it's made of. You know, what is this thing? You know, if it gets a little wear and tear, is it going to stand up to it? This will, which is good. I'm still going to seal something inside of it. But sometimes the poly mailers, you know, they're such a good deal. This happened to me once. I ordered some inexpensive poly mailers and I found out why they were inexpensive. They were really flimsy. And it's okay too, like with poly mailers, I might, if I'm putting 3 or 4 things inside the poly mailer, seal it in a smaller poly mailer on the inside. But that's why I wanted to warn you on, is, for instance, with a DVD, that it goes into a padded mailer, not just a poly mailer, because the cases are fragile and they smash. The same thing with CDs. You know, clothing is very, very soft. You know, it's going to be a lot harder. But it was a lace dress that was in that box, and there was a giant hole. I know it's not, you know, the seller didn't know. They had no idea. But again, it's a fragile clothing item. Can I put it in something? And again, if you're a newer seller and you don't want to buy 100 plastic mailers to have in the house to seal things in, is, do you have a Ziploc? Do you have something that you can roll or fold it into? Put it into that, then put it into the box or the poly mailer. If you think your poly mailers are nice and sturdy, you're not going to have a problem. You just fold the item nicely, and you put it in. It's up to you. But one thing I do want to say, and then I've got an offer for you, is, because this happened recently in my free group, is, it happens to all of us, okay, is the item arrived damaged. This has happened to me. If you're consistently selling something, I'm going to use my pen. If I'm selling blue pens, and let's say I have a dozen of these, or let's say I have a lot of pens, but all different styles, okay? And I'm shipping the pens, and the pens are going, I don't have a padded mailer up here, but let's just say the pens are going, I do have padded mailers, hang on a second. Here we go, padded mailer, eBay padded mailer. The pens are going in the padded mailer, and there's no problem. I'm shipping them internationally. I'm shipping them around the United States. No problem with the padded mailer. And then all of a sudden, I get 2 or 3, and they're arriving damaged. Now, this is first class because this is maybe 3 or 4 ounces. So that means I'm eating it because it's arriving damaged, okay? So that means I'm refunding the buyer. That means I'm out the cost of the pen. I'm out the postage. I'm out. I just lost money. If it happens a couple of times, yes, we can all go, evil USPS, evil FedEx, evil whatever, right? But I need to take a look at, for whatever reason, the pen is not getting across the country safely. And I need to rethink my packaging. And this is where, you can listen to your eBay friends and, they're saying, oh, I just throw it in the padded mailer. There's not a problem. That's great. But for you, it is a problem, because for you, for some reason, they're arriving damaged, is you put a little bubble wrap around it, right? You find a way to cushion it. I had this happen with a style of mug I was selling that I had a bunch of them. And for years, it was a New York City collectible mug. I had like 30 of them, so I would sell a couple a year. And for years, there was no problem. And then all of a sudden, 2 in a row, and again, I'm in New York, and both of them, interestingly enough, were going, it was like Arizona, New Mexico, it was West Coast. 2 in a row arrived damaged. I was like, and then I went, you know what? I looked at how I was packing it, and I asked for pictures so I could see, what, is it one part of the mug? Is the whole mug? What on earth are they doing to the mug? And I changed my packaging. It was the handle. It was a big handle mug. So I put I was putting some bubble wrap on the handle. It wasn't that I wasn't wrapping it. I really increased the bubble wrap. So instead of 1 wrap of bubble wrap, I had 3 or 4 on it. And from then on, no problem. And I sold out. And I wasn't out the price of the mug. And I wasn't out the shipping. So if all of a sudden things are arriving damaged, and this is where Facebook groups can help, and you're hearing a lot I'm just going to make something up. Puzzles are arriving damaged, and puzzles are hard to damage. Or video games are arriving damaged, is just back off. Don't think oh, they don't know how to wrap. Is go, how am I wrapping? Do I need to increase the cushioning? Is there anything that I should be doing, or am I okay? Always be willing to change. It is, in my opinion, it is better to err on the side of overwrapping than underwrapping. I would far, the customer might get a little bug cutting through everything, but I would far better err on the side of a little extra cushioning to make sure it gets there. And in fact, I've gotten nice comments, and I'm sure a lot of you have, where people say, thank you. Thank you for wrapping it so carefully. Thank you for the beautiful wrapping, okay? And I am not the greatest at sealing things and tying little bows and stuff, but I'll put the pretty dress in it sealed in the plastic, and I'll just take a piece of tissue paper and just fold it so it's on top with a thank you sticker, just so that when they open the box, they see pretty color, pink or lavender or blue with a thank you sticker. It's a nice presentation. Then they remove it and they see the item that they bought. Okay, so think about that. Again, recycling boxes is fine. Using recycled, anything is fine. Just make sure it's sturdy, that it hasn't gotten mushed around so much and being used that it's not a sturdy box. You want a sturdy box. I reuse boxes, but I really look at them, that they aren't dented. There's no stains. Who wants to get a box with stains on it? There's no stains. Remember, not only are they dropping boxes in transit and on these conveyor belts, they're dropping them in water. I've seen it. I watch FedEx unload. I watch USPS unload. And there's one area I'm here in Midtown Manhattan. They literally, the truck is there and they're taking the boxes, they put them on the ground. There's no plastic, anything on the ground. They just take the boxes, they go on the ground, and they go from the ground, they go to couriers who are delivering them. So if it's a wet day, those boxes are sitting in water for 20 minutes, half an hour, an hour. So your box, your packaging, whatever it is, has got to be able to go into water, sit in water. I mean, obviously it's not like 3 inches, but it's got to be able to sit in a certain amount of water and be okay, that your item will make it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Seal it inside. Think about traveling. Think about that it's going to be dropped. I was taught that your item should be able to drop 4 feet. And my understanding is that's because there's conveyor belts that do that. They drop the item that much. Okay. So it's not, even though I would love it. And I remember when I was first selling on eBay, I would watch the USPS take my, literally, you know, because this is back in the day when we had to stand online to hand off our boxes. I would watch them take my package and turn around and just heave it across the room. It's got to be able to withstand that. They don't, as much as we would like it, they don't take your package and go, oh, it's Kathy's package, right? And walk it over and gently put it on the bin and then gently take it out of the bin and then gently load it onto the truck. It's like they throw it in, whatever. And it's got to be able to withstand it. So sturdy enough to withstand it. If it needs to be inner wrapped, and then think about the experience for the shopper when they are opening the item. Obviously, it's a lower ticket item. You know, you think about it. I know people that even if it's $9.99 with free shipping or $6.99 with free shipping, you know, it's pretty paper and stickers, and that's great. Just remember your margins. I want you making money. But certainly when it's more medium priced item, higher priced item, really think about what is it like when they open this box, open the sealing, open the padded mailer. What is their experience going to be when they open that up? And again, it depends what you're selling. For an auto part, I think less. For a nice clothing item, I think baby items, I think games, I think puzzles, I think beautiful vintage things. You know, what is the presentation like? It really matters. Now you might be thinking, well, Kathy, I would love to have these problems of like thinking about how to pack everything and how to ship everything, but my sales aren't quite what I want them to be right now. And I need help in inventory sourcing, right? It's like then I'll listen to you and I'll be sealing and boxing and packaging and doing everything else. And please go on the USPS website. These are free, by the way. Okay. Free. USPS free. They ship them to you for free. So get these. And while you're there, especially my newer sellers, take a look at the other size boxes that are free. And even my more experienced sellers, if you go, I have never used regional A or I have never used regional B. It's good to have a few on hand, especially going into holidays, because you never know. So when you're over there, some things you can just order one or two. I think they used to have a variety pack, which I think is a great thing to have, especially when you're new sellers. But the USPS priority flat rates, and there's a one called the shoebox, which is not a flat rate. They're all free shipping supplies. Okay, so hop on their website and get that stuff because it's fabulous. And then I'm going to show you ideas for product sourcing. So hang on just a second. And then, so you're going to hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com. And when you land there, you're going to see Fall Winter Essential Products Guide. And this is fabulous. This is like over 20 pages of ideas of things that sell right now. And I just went in and revised it and added some things for you. Because I was in brick and mortar retail for over 25 years, if you don't know this about brick and mortar literally is several seasons ahead. So for instance, for holiday items, literally as soon as the holiday is over, they're already ordering and planning for next year's holiday season. I was in one really large brick and mortar, and I remember in July, they were having a press event with all the items that they were predicting to be the hot sellers for December. So they had a press event to have all these, newspapers and magazines and TV stations come in and literally take a tour of what their featured items were going to be. So this is something I'm very experienced at, witnessed, listen to top managers, top people speak about. So this is my gift to you. This is completely free. So hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and you're going to want to get your copy of Fall Winter Essential Products Guide. And you can download it. And this is what I recommend if you're out shopping, and print it out. Or if you're doing online retail arbitrage, same thing, is download it, print it out, write notes on it, circle things that you think are great. Go through unlisted inventory. If you have a lot of unlisted inventory, download this guide, look at it, because it's things that are really popular now. Yes, Christmas sells year round. I totally get it. But there is a seasonality to products too. So if you have a lot of unlisted inventory, what you want to do is get the items listed that are going to be bringing you money now. And then you're going to get to deal with padded mailers and the boxes and everything else. But that's my big caution to you, is particularly with boxes, because I would think the box is sturdy, right? Just put the item in the box and we're off. And when I got that flat rate box, and if you ship with the flat rate boxes, you know what I'm talking about. It's a sturdy box. And to punch a hole like that, something hit it. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's hand went through it, or they hit the side of a truck or a machine, but something hit it and created that hole in it. And all I wanted, I just said, because when I saw that, I was like, oh, the dress is going to be damaged. I'm going to have to message this poor buyer. They clearly had no idea. But also they had taken, this was like an $80, and literally just rolled it up and threw it in the box. I just went, like a $10 dress, you go, okay, maybe, but it's like, just like to put it in a nice plastic, where my plastic bag, I threw it on the floor. Nice plastic bag. These aren't a lot of money, right? Even if you don't have this, if you're a newer seller, you've got Ziplocs, you've got something in the house, put it in this. If it's a high-end dress, even when I seal it in something like this, again, maybe a pretty piece of tissue paper, maybe I've got these, where are they? My nice thank you stickers. I put my nice thank you stickers. Just make it pretty, right? Everybody likes a nice experience. And you get these great comments, and they come back and they shop with you. So they have a nice shopping experience. You're not refunding things damaged that you could have helped. Yes, sometimes it makes the postage a little more, but I would far rather spend 40 cents more in postage, 50 cents more in postage, 10 cents on a bag, have it arrive in one piece, have a happy customer that's going to come back and not have to refund. It's like, please, 10 cents and I don't have to refund, a pretty sticker, and I have a nice happy customer, which is what we want. We want nice happy customers that love shopping on eBay, come back to shop with us more, and shop with our other seller friends. Okay? So seal it up, nice stickers. Think about the shopping experience. And grab my free guide, the Fall and Winter Essential Products Guide, because you will love, love, love it. It will help you to really just push up your sales right now, which I want for all of you. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.